get your head right.
That's right. It's time to boogie on your brain, baby. What's up? Welcome to TZL Un-Prescripted. Man, it is a blessing to be able to get to hang out with you guys for a minute as we talk about some crazy stuff. Get my sip of head right. Yes. I feel inoculated from the cray-cray that's on out there, man. Okay, so, well, let me see. This right here, well, I don't know. It's still kind of crazy. And before I get started, you guys know that, of course, I'm a Republican voter, conservative. But I'm looking at Elon. Elon. Try to make his name sound a little bit more elegant there. But Elon is, coming on over to the Republican Party. Oh, yay! Right? Yay! Now, as I said earlier, yes, I'm a Republican voter, conservative, and I reckon that should mean that I should be more enthusiastic because he's coming over to the Republican. Man, I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not as enthusiastic as a lot of whether they're happy about it or whether they're mad about it, right, or triggered about it, right? People get out there enthusiastic with their triggering, right? Get all mad, and they're enthusiastic, keyboard pounding and whatnot. So, but at any rate. Let me. I'm pretty now. Y'all know why, right? Those who tune in, to TZL Un-Prescripted and hang out with Bronson Rabini, you guys know why I would be, I guess, a little less enthusiastic than others out there. I guess, who don't tune into the show because they just, want to be all about, MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. And yes, I voted for Trump too, but a lot of the stuff that these people are doing, they're sabotaging, and they are, they have given the left everything that they need to go ahead and take this country over. And now you got a lot of people out there thinking that Biden is a big failure and all that sort of stuff. No, he's a success. He has succeeded what he set out to do. Right? The left has succeeded. And y'all need to understand. You think that just because some Democrats out there, Democrats are getting like fed up and stuff like that, and all that sort of stuff. Y'all, this is part of the whole plan. It's part of it. Biden is a freaking is a blitzkrieg, a kamikaze, if you will. His job is to make sure it looks like he crashed, and for all intents and purposes, he did, right? But that's part of the mission. Okay, it's like what you think is a failure, particularly a failure, like if a guy takes his plane and flies it into a ship. Oh, not a failure. He's a bad pilot. It's like, no, I meant to crash this plane, right? That's what Biden is doing. They are meaning to do this. And will it look like a failure? Sure it will. So what? So what? As long as their objective is to run this country into a ditch, that's the plan. Okay? Yes, they are looking to do that. They're on a flipping suicide mission. Or a suicide mission, Clinton style. They're suiciding the country while Biden hopes to sit pretty. That's the kind of suicide mission they on. It's like, I don't want to say that we're Epstein, even though, I guess the country is being like given over to a lot of perversion as it is. We're kind of like Elon, right? Elon was seen in a picture with, what's her name? Ghislaine Maxwell, however you say her name, Pervert Maxwell. I think that's how you say it. It's like G something pervert, right? So, right. So he's seen in the picture. It doesn't mean he knows her. He just happens to be in the same vicinity with her. I like the question he posed to Vanity Fair. While you guys are trying to judge me for being seen with Ghislaine, why did Vanity Fair invite her? I don't know the woman. I don't know her. I can't help it that she slid up next to me and caught me in a picture. Okay, she photobombed me. So I can understand that. Well, that's kind of like the predicament that we're in. All right, we're being associated with the Epsteins, and the Epsteins have turned America into flipping Epstein pervert island, right? And that's where we are. And this island is sinking, right? It's just getting shaken up and sinking, and the waves are coming over and washing over it. And unfortunately, we're caught up in it too. It don't mean that we're part of the perversion. We've been trying to warn y'all about it, trying to warn you about it. And then here comes people judging us because, well, you're here too. I guess you're a pervert also. No, I ain't no pervert by association. You ain't gonna do that to me, right? Anyway, I'm rambling, but my ramblings make sense. They got that technology out there where you can go ahead and play it at half speed. Hey, what did you say? What did you say? Oh, okay, now I get it. When you play it back, and I'm like, that we're not the Perverts? By association, we're not them. Right? See that makes sense now. Right? So anyway. So check it out. Yeah, Elon. Like I said, the Republican Party, what it is now, it's a sad shadow of itself. Thank you guys for y'all who tune in, because y'all are still a light. You know, we're salt and light, man. We understand what the Republican Party was founded as. Too many people out there, they long forgot. They long forgot what the Republican Party was founded as, what made the Republican Party great, right? That's what, when it was founded, what it was founded for. Y'all remember, but a lot of these people, they don't. Well, because a lot of people, we taught in the Democrat public school system. What do you expect, right? Some of us, were able to praise be to God, we broke free from that. I ditched too much school to be brainwashed by Democrats anyway. So now so Elon Musk coming over to the Republican Party, I'm sorry, man, that's just not a big leap. It's not a big leap now. You got so many rhinos in the Republican Party. You got this big tent conservatism now. It's just a big tent of obscurity. Right? It's the definitive quintessential Republican. The GOP, the grand old party. As Lincoln said, look, man, we stick to and adhere to the ideas of the founders of old. Right? All men created by, and that's what this country is recognized, y'all. All men created equal, endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights. That's what Lincoln said. Hey, man, we got to uphold that. Yeah. We got to uphold that. And because you let these Democrats have their way, they can go ahead and make selections on whoever could be slaves. And you see them doing that right now, don't you? Right? Well, you got people out there thinking didn't care about freeing the slaves. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. All right. You guys are caught up with the Democrat narratives that are trying to get you to think something else. Right? They got you. You can see how Democrats are all about enslaving you now, but you can't see them trying to enslave people back then. Really? You don't get that? And that's what and the Republicans were founded to put an end to that. So Democrats couldn't just go around making up who they would see as property and whose rights they would infringe upon. They had to put a stop to it. That's what the abolitionists were getting down to. It's like, man, you think they're going to stop here? Not only are they going to expand territory, try to keep all this stuff moving past Missouri and Nebraska and all the way to no, they're going to expand who they can see as slaves. They're going to expand serfdom. You think they won't? You see them doing it now, don't you? But you want to get caught up in thinking that Lincoln didn't care about this stuff. Okay. Right? So the reason why, and I go there, y'all, is because you got Elon Musk who's saying that he's becoming a Republican because the Democrats were the kindness party. Well, I thought the Democrats were the party of kindness, and now I see that they're not. What? Sorry, I'm not trying to tease you, Elon. Kind of, I am. With all due respect. But look here, man. See, this is Elon, and this is a lot of Republicans. You don't know who Democrats are. See, Elon, the Democrats are America's oldest hate group. That's who they are, right? Why do you think we had a civil war? Because you had hate-filled Democrats who just wanted their states' rights to impose on other people's rights. Okay? So they with hearts and minds full of hate, they drafted their own constitution, the Constitution of Confederate States, and they wanted to be free to enslave all the Negroes they wanted. That's in their constitution, Elon. So this party of kindness? No. The party that founded the KKK, when they lost the Civil War, they got all butthurt and said, we're going to fix you Republicans. The new guys on the block, oh man, the Republicans just, they going to come in here and they're going to form their party and they're going to take our so-called right to have slaves. Oh, we'll fix you. And they formed the KKK to be a terrorist wing against the Republican Party, not just against blacks, but against the Republican Party, the party that was actually, hey man, we're all created equal. Nobody's supposed to be treated as a second-class citizen. Hey, blacks, Jews, whichever, anything. All right, you're not supposed to do that. Democrats, we do what we want. That's why it cracks me up when people say, well, Lincoln, he put in the Emancipation Proclamation, but it didn't immediately stop slavery. Of course it didn't. Oh, like Democrats are so ready to obey laws prohibiting them from what they feel entitled to. Right. When Democrats feel entitled to something, you're going to get a long, drawn-out fight, okay? No, the Declaration of Proclamation didn't happen immediately because you got Democrats who are spoiled, rotten, tantrum-throwing freaks. That's why. So when you got Democrats who are like that, who form the KKK so they can do some terrorism, does that sound like kindness to you, Elon? That's Democrats, and they have not changed, okay? They carried that from the 1860s, following the Civil War, all the way to the 1960s with Civil Rights Act. Party of kindness? What party of kindness are you talking about? And now with Roe v. Wade, party of kindness, aborting kids is kindness to you? No, it is, because if I understand correctly, you would fund somebody in your business. If they need an abortion, you would give them the money for it. So that's kindness to you. Aborting, it's not only aborting children, but I guess the kindness on your part is funding, is rewarding somebody to do it, basically. Oh, you're going to have an abortion? Let me reward you for committing murder. That's kindness to you? Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I hope you change your tune on that. These people out there who are, these covetous people, that's kindness to you, right? I want to kill my kid and I want somebody else's money to do it. Yeah. give me your money so I can abort my kid. And, I mean, if, at least I guess you volunteered your money. Anybody else, I mean, it's coming out of other people's pocket by force. Yeah. That's kindness to you? Really? Right? So, in the spirit of the KKK, these mass marauders out there, wreaking havoc, this terrorist arm for the Democrat Party, I guess that's kindness. And then in that same tradition, we get Antifa. These people out there doing their destruction, these people trolling you on Twitter, these godless people, that God that you're too good for, but these people are in that same frequency that you are, and they hate you. All right? Is that kindness to you? BLM, these people out there? So now that you're getting like a little bit more faced with their hate, now you're ready to be a Republican. See, that doesn't work, man. And I mean, you're becoming a Republican for the wrong reasons. That's why the Republican Party is long failed, because people assume to be a Republican for the wrong reasons. Why? Because they don't like what Democrats do, while a lot of times they think the same stuff as they do. But I guess they don't want to go full Democrat. Like most of that movie, so you don't go full retard. So I don't want to be full Democrat. I don't want to be associated with that. Let me give you guys a prime example of what that's like. You got a lot of Republicans out there who are it's like a lot of us on the same frequency as Democrats anyway, but they don't want to be associated with Democrats because they don't believe some of the stuff that they believe. They don't want to be seen as commies, or socialists and stuff like that. There's this association reservation that they have, right, where they don't want to be associated with Democrats. It's the same reason why a lot of blacks and Hispanics and Latinos don't want to be seen as conservative. You talk to them, and a lot of times they are. They're more conservative than not, but they don't want to be associated with conservatives because conservatives have been effectively labeled as racist. Mm-hmm. That's why. And a lot of conservatives help that happen. I'm not saying the Republican and conservatives are racist, but they're so culturally naive and so led by and gaslit by Democrats that they just allow themselves unwittingly to be labeled as such easily. Been doing it for decades, right? Easily led by Democrats. I mean, shamefully, pitifully, pathetically, easily led by Democrats to be labeled as racist. That's why you can have blacks and Latinos who appreciate more conservative values but don't want to be associated with you because of how you've been labeled, right? It's the same way with like Republicans. They don't want to be labeled as Democrats because they don't want the association, right? They don't want the pinko and the socialist and the communist and the collectivist or authoritarian label. But a lot of times they're still on the same frequency. So that's why you end up with these rhinos, right? Got a lot of rhinos in the Republican Party. You see what I'm saying? So it kind of works both ways. So, I mean, Elon coming over to the Republican Party, like a lot of this stuff, whether it's Elon, whether it's Brexit, whether it's walk away, man, the celebration needs to be in coming to the Lord. Not coming to Trump, not coming to the Republican Party, coming to the Lord. If you actually want to have a solid, stable Republican Party, it ain't about being a Reagan Republican. It ain't about being a Goldwater Republican. It's about being a Christian conservative Republican. You actually have to have a foundation. Why not base that foundation on somebody who's actually infallible rather than basing it on infallible men? So it's like walk away. No, dude, you need to walk away from your sin. Don't come walking away from the Democrat Party and bringing your problems into the Republican Party. Leave that stuff at the gate. You need to repent, assimilate, right? Isn't that what we talk about in the Republican Party? You're going to come into our country. You need to learn our laws. You need to assimilate. You need to learn. It's like, okay, well, how can Republicans all say, we need to grow our tent. We need to be a big tent, Republican Party tent. And everybody, as long as you just love America, right? You don't need to assimilate to anything else and say, no, dude, if you come into Republic, there's a standard, right? There's something that we need to be set on. And you want to set it on something man-made that decays? Oh, as long as you love the American flag. My banner is Jehovah Nisi, baby. My banner is the Lord. You want to talk about colors that don't run. You want to talk about colors that don't decay. You want to talk about a banner that will wave all of eternity. That's what I base my allegiance to. And if you really want to do America a favor, you'll get with that. So people coming to it's like, man, you got people on Twitter celebrating Elon. Man, you would have myriads of angels in heaven celebrating you. But I guess that don't mean anything as long as people are celebrating you on Twitter right now. Okay. Right. And of course, you will have people on Twitter cursing you, and you got legions of demons cursing you too. Right. Well, they would if you were coming. They're okay with you. Oh, yeah. Go ahead to the Republican Party. Yeah, that's good, man. All right. We working on them, too. Yep. Right. You got a whole bunch of demons got a grip on the Republican Party right now. Right. So, like I said, y'all, it's kind of difficult for me to be as enthusiastic, but baby steps. I got you. I mean, don't trip because I'm not judging. I accepted being a conservative before I became a Christian. So I'm not judging. I'm just speaking from experience. I'm telling you, this is the course. I hope you stay on this course. Republican, you're not conservative, right? Republican, conservative, Christian. Maybe that's the steps that you'll take. I did, right? I'm just giving you a heads up. Take a good look at what it is that you walked away from. But man, don't walk yourself into a circle right back to the Democrat Party, or bring that stuff into our camp. It won't be any different than, walk away or Brexit or you won't be any different from the blacks that were liberated by the Republicans back then. Democrats got in there and they didn't realize it, and the Democrats circled them right back to the plantation, right? And now got all these blacks, Democrat voters. And that's happened to a lot of people, not just blacks. It's happened to a lot of people, right? But you know what I want to do? I want to, before I get out of here, man, I want to see some of the responses. Let's check out some of the responses on how people are reacting. I don't want to spend too much time on this because, these people kind of suck. And they don't, they're not worthy of my time. Anyway, let me see. If I pull it up right here, I'll just kind of like squeeze. If I see like a couple of lines in here, I'll read them. Ooh, this one's kind of juicy. Elon Musk's dad married his stepdaughter and had a kid with her. Musk's brother Kimball and was said. Wait, let me see. Elon Musk's dad married his stepdaughter.
Well, his dad used to beat his mom too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Stuff like that, y'all. Things like that are things that will. Elon Musk is reluctant to, come to the faith, and they see things like that, and they figure, what's the point? What is the point of believing in a God, who would allow stuff like that? Abusive fathers and things and whatnot. What's the point of believing in a God that allows? I'm not saying that that's where he is, but there's a lot of people who grow up like that. Well, the thing is, the Word of God is the thing that instructs you to not do that, right? You need the Word of God as the Word will tell you, love the Lord with all your heart, mind, and strength, and then from there, love your neighbor as yourself. Yeah. Okay? So you're supposed, in the manner we're supposed to be treating our spouses, the manner and how we're supposed to love our wife, the way Christ loved the church. I'm talking about sacrificial love, prepared to lay down your life for your wife. Okay, these things are instructed in the Bible on how we're supposed to behave and how we're supposed to treat each other, how we're supposed to keep with society, how we're supposed to have peace, joy, and fruitfulness. Well, because people ignore those things, that's not God's fault. We have free will to do so. But at any rate, let me see. I think, okay, yeah. It's going to be talking about, okay. Yeah, I see it right here. Just want to, let's do our own fact checking, right? Do our own fact checking. And so, yeah, I guess Errol, was it Errol? Admits, you know, that, yeah, he had this relationship with his daughter. Now, the thing is, y'all, just speaking of, you know, why it would turn people off to the, why does God allow this to happen? He doesn't. People be thinking like, why does God allow things like this to happen? What's the point of believing in God if God doesn't do anything about it, or if he allows this to happen and stuff like that? I could see where people would think that it's a turnoff. The problem is people thinking like that is just lazy, because if you read the Bible, God does not allow it. Right. Okay, you go through, like, say for instance, you go through Leviticus, it's gonna be telling us that, hey, don't be approaching your dad's wife, don't be approaching her kids and all that. It's like you're not supposed to do those things. And matter of fact, those things are punishable by death. Okay, now, there's a lot of things that we're not allowed to do. People do them anyway, okay? So that's not God's fault. We have the free will to do so, and we will be held accountable to those things. All right, so I mean, it's you know, to blame God or anything like that, or be dismissive of God, it's people getting away from God is why these things happen. You stick to God, those things don't happen. All right, but this person is going to pass a judgment on Elon because of his dad. You know, I guess, you know, Elon is guilty for what his father did. But that's liberals for you. You know, they punish. Yeah, they punish kids for what the adults did. You know, like abortion. Punish the kids. Not the kid's fault. But, you know, because, you know, there was, a sexual assault. Well, the way that we deal with this is, well, put the kid to death. So you guys are all about punishing, you know, the offspring for what a parent did. So, you know, that's a cheap shot. You know, that's a cheap shot. Let's see what else we got. Let me see. Some of these look kind of boring. just people like, you know. Of course. Here's a typical one. This is boring, but I'm just going to say it because it's typical. Let's see. Because I saw, right when I looked through it, I saw tax. I said, okay, yeah. Of course, Republicans give billionaires a massive tax break so you can get richer by funneling tax dollars from the poor. Makes sense. No, it doesn't. That's some really stupid, lazy thinking. Let's explain something. Okay, Republicans give billionaires a massive tax break. Okay, billionaires or these wealthy people, those taxes that you're talking about, they're the ones who actually generate the revenue for the government to get those taxes in the first place. When you guys like talk about like corporate welfare and things like that, it's not really corporate welfare when they're the ones who generated the money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you're talking about a massive tax break or so they could get richer by funneling tax dollars from the poor. Poor people aren't really good for business. You understand that? As a business owner, like if I own a business, my business isn't going to do all that fantastic if people don't have any money to spend on it. You see what I'm saying? So when you guys talk about like corporate welfare, it's like, dude, I actually produce products, services, and revenue in the economy. So if I get money back, that's not welfare. If you are not producing or contributing, or if you're not providing a service, but you are just getting money when you are able-bodied and able-minded to work, yeah, you're a ward of the state. Yes, you are receiving welfare. You didn't contribute anything. But when a business actually contributes something, Okay, now don't get me wrong, because you do have businesses that are subsidized by the state. Their product or their service didn't prove in the market to be really worth anything. So yes, they do get subsidies, right? Right off the bat. But you do have businesses that do have proof of concept and that their product and services is something that the market, that the free market wants. They have provided a product, service. They have provided jobs. Their enterprise creates wealth that the government tax. And if that government is like, look, man, you get a little steep with those taxes and those regulations, man. We need to be able to stay in operation. We paid into the system. Give us back some of our money. That's something totally different. All right. So, you talk about Republicans, giving these billionaires massive tax breaks. Well, you ought, huh?
Democrats do that.
Yeah, that's Democrats all day, but you want to make it's like and as if all the billionaires are Republicans.
No, 98% of them
Yeah.
are
It's
liberal Democrats.
right. It's Twitter right now. So for some reason, y'all forgot that it was Dorsey who owned it,
Yeah.
right? But I guess is Dorsey Republican?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Zuckerberg? No. Who's the guy who owns Google? No, I don't think so. Right? All these people, these billionaires, Soros, right? Walmart, Target,
Costco.
these people,
drug companies.
right? These people are all Democrats. Is Soros? Has he got a American citizenship? He's like,
He has world citizenship.
yeah, exactly, right? It ain't like he can't affect elections here. Right? He's got the billions to do it, and he's on the Democrats team. Right? So forgive me if I don't really know the status of his citizenship. It don't matter because he's got influence over it anyway.
Yeah.
And these are Democrats. So I don't know where you're coming from with this Republican has all these power to be so effective for billionaires. The billionaires are your Democrats, dude. Don't know what you're talking about. You want to try to talk about something that don't make sense. You ain't making sense. All right. So, and talking about, get rich. Oh, man. You got these Democrats that are totally feeding off of the poor. As the Lord says, man, the poor will always be with you because Jesus was dealing with Democrat-minded people back then. These Democrats are of the same Judas mindset. Judas trying to talk about like he's more righteous than Jesus. All that money could have been spent to give to the poor. Meanwhile, he was the one stealing from the treasury. Jesus called him out on it. Hey, you need to get your mind off her property, cuz. Right? This is Jesus. Stop worrying about her property. And that's what you Democrats do. You think you're entitled to tell anybody else what to do with their property. This covetous mindset that you have. Look at you right here talking about Republicans get billionaires. Like, why are you coveting somebody else's stuff? What that billionaire does with their money is none of your business. Because what that billionaire is doing with their money is they're creating jobs. How many times I got to say this? So what? That person's got billions of dollars and they've got boats and they've got houses and they've got cars. So what? Each one of those things adds up to jobs for people to do so they can pay their bills and feed their families. So what? You jealous freak. Come on, man. So you got this right here. Jesus was dealing with people back you like then. Hey, Judas, leave her alone. What if it is not your business to tell her how she can liquidate her assets and give to somebody else? That ain't none of your business. While you're stealing from the treasury, and that's Democrats all day. People like you thinking that other people owe you something. Nobody owes you anything, man. Okay, what else we got? Let me see. Boring. Man, because people, sometimes it's just like, why would I even waste my time? I feel like I'm wasting my time here on Twitter. I don't really have a Twitter account, but I'm able to look at people's comments and things like that. Let me see. Somebody else said, didn't you see that other person's tweet, man? A billionaire doesn't want to pay taxes, not news. Well, if you're right. You're right. These billionaires, they don't want to pay taxes. You're Democrats? That want us to be all collectivist, right? That feel like everybody should be paying more in taxes up like they're the ones putting their money in tax shelters. You got these Hollywood liberals out there. They don't want to do movies in California anymore because they don't want to pay the taxes. All right. So billionaires, that's your folks. But see, the thing is, you don't seem to understand that it's not paying the tax that's a problem. It's the way that we're made to pay the taxes, and it's never satisfying enough, y'all. We're being taxed in an unconstitutional fashion. There's a way to pay taxes that is justifiable, and it's the way it's supposed to be done.
Yeah.
But you guys want taxes paid by the violation of a person's right to property. And that's not how you're supposed to tax people. You will never satisfy anybody. And what ends up happening is that the billionaires have to pass that cost on to people. So the people end up being paid more. You think that it's all about this funneling and getting tax breaks and stuff like that. They don't even need to do that. All they just need to do is just create. You want we're going to raise minimum wage, and we're going to raise minimum wage, and we're going to raise regulations, and we're going to raise taxes and stuff like that. The business is just like, well, I don't really even need to get a government kickback. I'm just going to go ahead and raise the price on everything else and just make up my cost that way. And who ends up paying for that? The lowly consumer. Thanks a lot, dude.
Yeah.
Right? That's the stuff that you people do. So, Elon, man, if you're going to come on over to, the Republican Party, hey, welcome. I'll be more enthusiastic for you when you follow this course, man. You follow this course and see the Lord and humble yourself before the Lord. I'll tell you, man, you've got this, you're on this quest, man. You want to see the stars, and I don't blame you, man, because I'd love to tour the universe myself, but not in our own power. We ain't going to do it. It ain't going to happen, man. Don't pass up the one who can actually get you to the next solar system, the next galaxy, right? He's the only one who can actually get us there. Man, don't you think it'd be a shame? I mean, this is like you with what you're able to do, with what you're able to do, wouldn't it be a shame, man, if you weren't able to reach out as far into the universe as you wanted, that big old universe, man? And there's people before you who've had the same ambition. Wouldn't it be just a shame if we weren't able to ever see it, right? And without faith in the Lord, the one who designed it, the one who actually can give us, can facilitate our travel through the universe. You want to pass that up? You want to pass that up, man? It's like you look out there and you be like, man, I'd like to go right there, right? You ain't gonna get there, right? There's no resources available to you to make that happen, ever, right? Not in the natural. It's not gonna happen in the natural. Just even I don't think I need to explain to you the dynamics of trying to travel at the speed of light and how long it would take, right? That we don't even need to go there. However, with the Lord, the one who designed it all, man, you'll be able to travel these distances faster than light can travel between your fingers. You want to pass that up? Like I said, man, don't you think it would be a shame if generations who have aspired to be able to do that, no matter what technology was available to them, they just couldn't, right? And even today, the resources available to you are not going to yield the technology. And wouldn't that be a shame, right? That you went to your grave, never to be able to see what was beyond our solar system, never be able to experience it. Well, the Lord himself came back to prove that he could facilitate that, right? I'm Jesus, man. He comes back. Look, man, I can walk I'm the master of earth. I can walk on the sea, and I can walk on the sky, right? The universe is mine to explore, or for you to come explore it with me, right? I facilitated it all. So, and he's proven that he's able to do that. He proved it. The records are there that he came back to say, yeah, man, I can do all that. You want to pass that up, man? Right? That this affinity, this drive that you have, this warp drive, right? That unfortunately doesn't have the horsepower to get you beyond the solar system. And if you're able to get to Mars, I don't know how long that's gonna last, right? That's a huge undertaking. And I don't know what peace, you're gonna find on a planet named after the god of war. But if that's what you want to do, man, that's your prerogative, But the Lord himself, man, he's got that tour, check in with him, man. That way he's got your ticket punched. And you can get that tour. Because it'd be a shame, man, to go to your grave and not be able to. And I know you want to get out there. There's only one way, right? That's the Lord. I know I don't want to miss my ride. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what do I put my faith in you? I'm going to put my faith in Elon. And Elon's going to take me into outer space, you know, beyond our solar system. Why would I do that? Right? Nah, I put my faith in the Lord, right? He's the astronaut deluxe. All right. Anyway, y'all, thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of TZL Unprescripted. Check us out at bronzeserpentmedia.com. Hope you guys will drop a buck in the bucket, share, help keep your brozo on the go, and we'll talk about some more crazy stuff. We'll see you guys later.